Hi guys, welcome to Factorio Vanilla episode 8. Last time we were attacked by biters and we know roughly where they're coming from. If we look on the map over here, they are coming from this area just north of the coal deposit, and it looks like there's also some over to the right. There might be some over here as well, because we have had people running down and attacking the top of our belt over here, but we've got things under control. Obviously we're going to have to replace some of these mining rigs in a moment, but we can survive without them for now, because middle of last episode we also put in a bypass to try and get rid of some of the ore that built up at this deposit. So for the time being this is a little bit superfluous, but we don't want to just let the biters run in and ruin things. So we've got some turrets being manufactured, we've got some ammo being manufactured, which means that we can start to defend our base. So if we collect those for a second, and collect these for a second. Now, we are definitely running out of iron. I don't know if it's all going into making ammo. It looks like a lot of it's going into making ammo at the moment, but we're just not making iron plate fast enough anymore. So I think it's time to start looking at another smelting column for iron. We definitely want to place some more turrets down, and we want to replace the mining drills that have been destroyed. We also want to... oh, we've just spotted another base. There you go. So that's where the other ones are coming from. So we definitely want to go and take out some of these closed bases, and there's a third one there, so we're really under fire. We want to take out some of those bases before too long, otherwise they're just going to build up and overrun us, which would not be good. But in the meantime, we're going to need to start building up some defences. So we've already got walls. Do we have gates yet? I don't think we do. Gates would come about after we have... where would gates come into the equation? In fact, let's just find gates. So gates come about from military 2. So let's grab military 2 and then gates. So that way we can put a wall around our perimeter, we can put some gates up, and then we can start to fortify ourselves a bit more as we work out how we want to take the fight back to the biters. So in the meantime we're going to have to grab some more resources to actually make more mining drills and things like that. And part of our iron is going to be going into here for storage. So rather than taking it from the belt, I should be taking it from these things really, but that's not the end of the world. So let's make a few replacements for these and get gates at the same time. Now we want to automate what's going on with our walls, which means that we're going to have to come down to where this stone is being mined and saved up, and you can make walls by using stone brick, and we are under attack again. They are really quite determined. So going to have to find a way of smelting stone brick, which we've got coal by here, so we can just run the coal over to there. So that's not too difficult. In that case, let's pop a furnace down by here, and we can have this come in, this come out into the factory, and we can have the factory making stone walls. So in the meantime we're going to need to bring some coal down here, and there's a tree in the way, which means we need to put a splitter by here. Now the more you split your different areas off, the harder it is to actually keep track of them all, so sometimes it might be worth running two belts in parallel rather than splitting on and off of one belt. And in fact in this place we might extend this over to there as well. So we need some lights down here so that you guys can actually see what's going on. That's a bit better. And we need a chest or something that these walls can then go into for us to use later on. And again, I'm quite happy for all of this to be turned into wall if we so need it, so I'm not going to restrict that in any way. This electric mine drill is just about to expire. It's down to 25 odd pieces left, and some of these will go before too long as well. So we are getting there with clearing this bit out, and once it's done we can reroute this iron supply slightly and just take it directly over to the bus. So that's still got maybe another 30 seconds to go, so we'll come back to that one in a moment. But meanwhile, what were we doing? Oh yes, we were going to go replace the mining units that had just been destroyed. I'm wondering why I can't put that, and of course there's no ore there. No, there is ore there, but there's no space there to put that down because that used to run onto a furnace. So we want to repair all these bits that are damaged. And replace that. Oh, there's a little bit of ore that we can use. And we want to put down a few more electric poles just to connect the whole thing up. So that's gates done. We are getting a good way into the basic part of the factory being done. I think it's probably about time that we do some logistics too, so that way we can get some red belt, we can start to improve the throughput on some of our belts where we need it most. So let's get that underway, and at the same time let's put some extra guns down just to protect this area as well. So we've now got walls being automatically produced. We can build ourselves some armour, or we could if we had enough steel and enough copper on us. So that will give us a better chance for surviving an encounter with the biters. And let's get all those at the same time. I don't expect to take enough damage to need them, but you never know. We've got our red and green signs automated. We've got some biters that we need to take out. In fact, you can see where they're just moving around up there. But the next step, and we might have to do it before we go get the biters, is going to be oil. So I don't actually see that many oil reserves around here. The oil reserves are the purple dots. There's two by there and two up here, but we might have to go roaming in order to actually find oil, and that's not a brilliant thing because we do need a lot of oil to get the better things in the game. But not to worry. I think for the time being then, we want to try and take out the base that's just by there because they're definitely within our pollution range. This one we can probably leave for now, and this one, well, it's sending people in, so sending biters in, so we definitely want to get rid of this one as well. So let's take some turrets and go see what we can do to them. This will also give us a bit of a chance to explore the map a little bit further. And talking of exploring the map, I know what I'll do. If we take some solar panels with us, we can then power a radar and we can actually have little outposts set up along the way. So let's just grab some resources to build those with. And we might even have some walls somewhere now, so we can use them to protect our little outposts along the way and keep them safe. Not many walls, but keep them safe until we can come back and actually see what they hold. So let's grab a little bit of ammo at the same time. Now, iron throughput is a big problem. We are going to want to do something about this much sooner than later, but in the meantime, let's just let the factory crank away for a few minutes while we go take out those two bases that are going to continue to cause some problems. Running through forests is difficult, and I wish I had a flamethrower nearby so I could actually just take the whole forest down at the same time, but I don't, so got to find and fight my way through. And not brilliantly, we've just spotted another base who are also just on the edge of our pollution range, so we've ended up being quite unlucky with our starting area, that we've got lots of biter bases nearby and they all want to munch down and take us out. So I think railways are going to be important. Well, I said from the start I wanted to do something with railways in this game, so let's grab the technology for that now and we can start to plan out how and where we want to run everything for that. We're almost certainly going to need to run railways in order to get all our oil reserves coming in, but what can we do in the meantime? Wow, we are really finding lots of bases. This is not a brilliant situation. Okay, well, all we can do is what we can do. So let's put that down there. We're still having to wait for these to complete though, so let's take that up for the time being. Once they're completed, I'll be able to put down a few of them and we can have a look at what things look like then. So I don't want to get too close, otherwise they'll spot me. And obviously I'm aware that it's dark at the moment, so you probably can't see everything I'm doing either. But I can just see over here that there's biters moving around. And they've got a couple of worms there as well. So we want to be careful about how we approach these. I think it's time to definitely put some ammo in there, because they've just spotted us. And I don't like using sort of turret creep methods, particularly when I'm being spat at by worms, but needs must. So we've now got the ability to make railways, and in a moment we'll have the ability to make cargo wagons as well, so that will allow us the basics of what we need for a train network. So it might take me a moment or two to actually destroy these, but we'll get there. And while we do that, let's pick these up because we don't need those anymore. And what you see is that when the alien bases are destroyed, they leave these purple orbs behind, the alien artifacts. And at the moment, they are essential in producing the purple science packs, which are needed to get you to the end game research and into rockets. But as I understand it, they might not be so essential in a month or two when patch 15 comes out, but obviously you won't know for definite until the developers finish what they're doing with that. So let's have a look. Where can we see with our radar coverage? It looks like our radar coverage actually comes up to about here anyway. So if we set up an automated radar point over here, it's nice and far out of the way, shouldn't have too many bites attacking us, but it does mean that we'll be able to see a little bit better and have a bit of further scanning range so we can actually find out what's where. So this looks like a good spot. Put that by there. Can we get rail signals as well? Yes, and we don't need anything special for those. We don't need anything particularly special for cargo wagons or train stops. And trains are, well, train rails are stone, iron sticks, which we can make, and steel plates. And diesel locomotives are engines, electronic circuits, and steel plates, all of which we should be able to make. So, yeah, we've got everything at the moment we need to make trains, which means we can now start making trains to go get the oil. So that's a good start, I think. So, yeah, let's go for rail signals, which allow us to really sort of automate things a little bit. That is the point of Factorio after all. And then we are well underway for getting that started as well. Let's pop down some defences for this. And we want to give them lots of ammo. And some defence as well if I can find where I've put my walls. There they are. Of course I can't get out through there, so leave a gap. And not fully brilliant because you can still run around there, but it will have to do for the time being. Wow, we are really not off to a good start. There's more biters over here. Over here, well, we know about these guys already, but each one of these big red blobs is a biter base. So we are going to have to be careful about how we expand our base and how much pollution we make, because we run the risk of attracting lots and lots of biters, which I'm not sure we've actually got the ability to continually fight off at the moment. So we really do need to find oil, because oil will open up things like the ability to make laser turrets, which don't need ammo, they just need electricity to run. And look at the size of that base. That's a big base for this early in the game. But I think we're going to have to run back to the base at this point and try and start making, or start automating the things that we need to make oil products. Normally I would like to clear out the close spider bases first, but I'm concerned with this one that that's just not going to be an option. So once again I'm getting stuck in the forest. So what do we need for oil? We need pump jacks so we can pump the oil out of the ground. We are going to need, we don't have them yet, but we need tanks so we can actually store the oil. Then we're going to need things like oil refineries to crack the crude oil down into heavy oil, light oil and petroleum, which then get used for various things. And we're probably going to need some chemical plants as well, which will allow us to turn the petroleum and other things into useful things like sulfur, so we can make batteries or just different things that we can actually use it for instead of just being as oil. So where can we put these? Again, these are things that will help us build the factory. So they would normally go fairly close to the start of the base, but as we are running out of space a little bit by there, and we are not quite ready to actually remove all of this, I think we have to put that section at the end, which means that unfortunately they're not going to get as many resources as I'd want them to get. but that will have to do for the time being. Meanwhile, we can remove this, and let's see. That can be filled up, but of course this isn't going anywhere at the moment because we're just not using enough copper. And we're probably not using enough copper because we don't have enough iron. So what can we do to increase that? I'll come back to that problem in a moment. First of all, let's try and get the problem with building these things sorted. So pump jacks require steel, iron gears, electronic circuits and pipes, which means we are going to need to pull in a few things from different places. So if we say 1, 2, 3, and we are being attacked somewhere, where are we being attacked? Over here, but that's fine because our turrets are taking care of it. But with this, if we have this one making the pump jack, this one making the gears, and this one making our pipes for us, we can feed in then iron running down here, with both of these inserting directly into there. We can run a line off our green circuits coming down and into the side, and this is the first item we're making. We actually need quite a bit of steel, so we're going to have to run an extra line on top of this for steel down to run as well. So let's get started on that. And how much steel and how many green circuits do we need? I think because we need them in equal quantities, we can probably get away with running half of them on one side of the belt and half of them on the other side there, so we won't need two different belts to do it with. Which means we can end this chain here. And we've got to remember that our bus will continue to there for iron, up here for copper, and these trees are getting in the way again. And our green circuits will run along here as well. And we're going to have to put in another bus then for iron on top of that. But I think as we've just finished the research, as we're partway through doing something that is going to take a little bit longer, this is not a bad place to end the episode. So I'm going to call things here, and I will see you next time where we will continue building our automated pump jack mechanism, and then we can start to expand and explore a little bit further out. So that's it for now. See you next time.